Okay, got everything going here. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, welcome to my Witchy review. I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And thank you for coming to the Witchy review for my live. I have a haul, so I'm doing things a little bit differently today. I'm doing my haul. It's all witchy type items though. And none of it was purchased online, so that's why it's so special, because I actually walked into a store and purchased these items. So I'll start with the books. And the tarot cards and everything else. So 3 different stores. So this is something I look forward to reading. I might actually do a real witchy review on it when I'm done. This is copyright 2020, so it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty new. It's a pretty relative new. I don't know when in 2020 it came out, but I'm really interested in reading this book. The author is Pamela Ball. I usually like to know who the author is, but it's like a lot. And I know that sounds crazy. I like a thick book with a lot of information, small words. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. I went to Barnes and Noble and purchased this book. I was led to go to Barnes and Noble to get this. But it says here, this book reveals how to become a natural magician using knowledge gathered over thousands of years by magician and mystic alike. Techniques employing plants, trees, crystals, and incense, along with meditation, ritual, chanting, and dreams, the tools to give expression to your creativity and beliefs, a wide range of methods to bring about positive changes in your life. So anyway, natural magic will set you on the path to self-discovery. It sounds interesting, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I just got it actually. Then, again, Barnes & Noble haul. Found this one, My Creativity Journal. As you can see, it's only $8, so it's not like a huge investment, but it's got a lot of cool things in it. First, I picked it up and I said, oh, well, that looks fun. And then I looked at who the author is, Liz Dean, right? So I read the back. Liz Dean teaches at Psychic Sisters within Selfridges, London, and is the author of 13 books and card decks, including the official HBO Game of Thrones Tarot, The Art of Tarot, and 44 Ways to Talk to Your Angel. So I didn't know all that when I first picked it up. I just thought, I was like, wow, this really resonates with me. Of course it does, because somebody who, is somehow in the woo-woo community wrote it. So anyway, so it's got all kinds of stuff in it that I personally like. Prompts and things like that. Enjoying non-doing when you can. Simply be feeds the creative soul. I like that. So this for sure, I can't wait to kind of crack open to this a little bit more. And then I'm so excited. I didn't wait like a few minutes to jump into this live. I wanted to get into it because I'm this excited. Has anybody seen this? Okay, if you're watching this on the replay, comment. If you're here, I know there's not very many. I appreciate if you are here, by the way, but go ahead and comment if you've heard of this. I had not. This was new information. If I did, I don't remember it. I went ahead and just opened this up, so I'll just go ahead and unbox it. The Hoodoo Tarot by Tiana Lee McKiller. Not sure how to pronounce her last name. Let me open that up. Okay. This I read the book alone. This is nice. When I say this is nice, this is nice. I am impressed with this tarot deck. This might be one of my favorite new tarot decks. So it comes like this. I took it out the plastic because I had to look. Here are the cards. Let me get close. The quality, guys. Oh, the quality is so nice. It feels like the cards are good stock. If I can get them out with my nails. I'm doing the best I can. Here's what they look like on the back. Okay, and this card, I'm not going to do a whole flip through right now. Let me know if you would like to see it, but it's deep. Like the first card, the Freeman, I think that's akin to the Fool card. And just when I pulled open the book, and they call the major arcana is called the Elders. Love it. Chef's kiss. The Freeman is the Fool. They tell you that here. Like they give a description. Look how much you get for the description page. Like this is, I love meaty books. I know some people like to get a tarot deck and they feel like, oh, I don't need the book. I mean, that's cool. Kudos. There's the lady Tiana wrote the book. She wrote the descriptions, and there's another woman who did the actual illustration. I want to read the book. I want to use it. Oh, you have it? So it is accurate. Oh my God. I fell in love with this deck. This is new to me. If I saw it, I don't remember. I swear, because I would have purchased it. I believe I would, but I was impressed when I thumbed through the book and read just the origins of hoodoo section. And then they broke down giving sample readings that you can use. So the ones that they provided, I like it. I like this a lot. Anyway, this is one of my new favorite things. And I was going to get this other deck that I saw. And the name of the deck was Ostera. Yeah, she is African American. Yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me show, because her picture is in the book. I was going to get that deck. I had it in my hand. I'm staying at the Barnes & Noble. But I put it down because I saw this and I had to get it. Yeah. So that's her. Now the illustrator. let me, in all fairness. Okay. So it's interesting. I'm here for it. I love the deck. And the illustrations are actually really beautiful. Like the cards, the themes. I showed it to my daughter. She loves it. She likes tarot decks and stuff like that. The illustrations. She digs that kind of stuff too. Anyway, so this is the other haul. Barnes & Noble. Okay. So, I had a day of shopping. So I was done with Barnes & Noble. Got these goodies. This is exciting. I'm seriously excited about reading this. Can't wait to dive into this journal, and I'll be using these cards for sure. Love those. Then I said, okay, let me go. And I went to Michael's. Hopefully you guys know what Michael's is. It's like a craft store. I'm okay with it because the cards resonate with me too. The Alt Barbie. How you doing, by the way? It resonates with me. I don't care if it's, I feel like in 2021 we kind of gotta come to the meeting of the minds. A lot of that sometimes everybody's not appropriating or stealing something. Sometimes we can work together and collaborate and come with something that maybe a specific, this one culture can get value out of, but her contribution to it, the illustration, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. We just kind of need to get to this place. And I don't know how that's possible because race is such an issue right now in general, let alone dealing with like this sort of stuff, talking about voodoo. We already have challenges and things like that. I don't really have a full solution to that other than, try to be pure heart and make sure your intention is, positive, and just go from there. Even with that, people can still get angry with you as well and say maybe you shouldn't be doing something. But I love the deck though, so there's that. So I went to Michael's, the craft store. I'm so excited about this. If you're watching this and you don't know, which I express all the time, I'm pretty much obsessed with planners. So I picked up a new planner that starts in July. It's a bit of a shine, but it says, "This world needs more of what you have." So why a new planner? Why? One, because I wanted one. But the other reason is this one is a bigger one than what I usually have, and it's more witchy. It's like, look at the divider page. Magic begins within, and it is just all of it, like the little quotes and things like this throughout are all like this. So they just came out with this. This is from the Happy Planner. Now this is a big, everybody doesn't want this big planner like this, but I do. So this is going to become my catch-all planner. I'm going to change that, but yeah, is this, no, this is similar looking, but it's not the same quote that's on the thing. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I'm live. But I had to get it because of all the witchy quotes in it. I will be doing a flip through of this at some point, but not the whole thing right now. It'll look a little neater when I'm done. Anyway, so that was something I had to get. Then, on the same vibe, I saw the classic size planner. All right, so this is, could you turn that back on, please? Thanks. This is the big, and this is the classic size. So if you're not into planners and a happy planner, this probably will go over your head, but it starts in July, and the divider pages are pretty cool. They're very, it's not so much as new age or witchy. Hello, T Gucci, hello. This is more about just positive quotes and things like that. So I'm gonna incorporate this also. Using that planner, I'm gonna probably replace some, not probably, I'm gonna replace something else. And then I just got this sticker book, and it just has happy quotes. So not necessarily witchy, but if you're in a place where you're really just trying to be happy, it's got all these cute colors and nice sayings that kind of just can, you know, they're innocuous. They don't really lean toward any way of thinking, but like breathe in courage, exhale doubt. Okay. I mean, it could be nice little affirmations and reminders for stickers and things like that that you can put in your planner that can kind of get you through a day, because I think we all have moments and days. Sometimes you see these types of things and they can make you feel better. At least they do for me. Okay. So I mentioned these were all in-person things. So I went to Barnes & Noble's and I went to Michael's. But last weekend, I went to this store. I kept the card. This is a local store. Let me turn it this way. This is a local store. They're called Stardust and Sage. They are in Phoenix, Arizona. So I wanted to go physically in person to check this store out, and I did. And they have a website, so you can purchase these things on their site as well. It's all Black owned, all women, and they have this store up front where they sell metaphysical or occult spiritual supplies, and in the back is where they do everything from Reiki. They do readings. They do sound bath. Wait. Oh no, it says something about you guys experiencing buffering. Are you guys seeing me and hearing me okay? I'm getting an error on YouTube about that. Just let me, can somebody just like let me know? Hello, Bantu Viking. Can you guys see it? Like, can you hear me okay? Is it buffering? All right, now I miss frequenting metaphysical shops since the pandemic. You see and hear me? Okay, I'll continue. I continue. Anyway, yeah, I do. They just opened, and like in Arizona, it's different here. Oh, it is buffering. So you can see me, and I assume hear me. Just let me know if it gets too bad. Okay, YouTube warned me, so I don't. This has never happened before. Okay, now it's up to good. All right, I'll just keep going. Just let me know. Hopefully it'll keep working. But anyway, so the store. Love the store, love the vibe. It wasn't a huge store or anything like that, but it felt good just going in there, and I wanted to definitely support. So here's what I bought. Candles. A bunch of candles. So I got this all-purpose candle, and I appreciate it. Like, I don't know, I liked everything about it. When I saw it, I said, I know I have use for this, so let me just show you. The all-purpose candle. So literally you can use it for all purposes. Great. And then I got the road opener. candle. And yeah, they have the prayer thing on the back if you still want to use that. Most of these types of candles do. And then I bought a blockbuster candle. Okay, so if you're not sure about, hopefully visual is buffering but audio is clear. YouTube is YouTube. I know, right? Like, come on, you guys should know how to handle this by now. But anyway, the all-purpose is obviously for all-purpose, and the blockbuster is definitely for, like, if you feel like you have blocks, your magic is not flowing. Oh, you need that? Yeah. All that sort of stuff. This is great for that. And of course, road opener. This is great for, somebody like myself. I have YouTube channel. I'm writing. I'm doing these different creative outlets. And, if I want to succeed, not if, of course I want to succeed. If I want to sort of put a blessing over it, or just make that road open more, for different avenues, different ways of, let's say, income or just exposure, this is a great opportunity for me to use something like that. But same thing for, if you're just looking for opportunities to get on, you can use this in a way, whether it's for love, money, success, health, all that sort of stuff. But I've always seen this more of like the road opener candle. The way I think to use it is more of a way to, like I said, yeah, opportunity to make things that wouldn't be there just appear for you, but you still have to sort of do the work. Then I bought a bunch of oils. So I've already opened them to smell them because I can't contain myself. This one it says Anna Riva's oil. This is Love Drops. I wish there was such thing as smell-o-vision. How do I feel about doing work during the retrograde? I do work during the retrograde. I do. I mean, before, let me just say this. Before I do any sort of working, I always do this thing, and it's literally a ritual. Before I start, I always reach out. I like to do a quick tarot reading, just to see that my ancestors are like in line with what I'm doing. I ask them directly. Up until this point, I've not been told, no, don't do something, or got a card that I could perceive as possibly negative. That hasn't happened. So I guess, that's, I don't know. I do work anyway. I feel like that's kind of my fail safe. If they say it's okay, then it's okay. And then, oh, I thought I saw something else. But anyway, then I got so again, Anna Rivas, that's the name of it, oil, High John. So I got this. And then I got prosperity oil, because why not? Okay. And they're kind of different. The colors, they're not quite all the same. Some are lighter than the others. Then I got this passion oil, right? What did you say? Ancestors love the Hoodoo Tarot. You'll see. You know what? That's what I was thinking. And then peaceful home oil. I would encourage that. Then finally, I got this better business oil. So I like that too. So I'm using this. I was thinking of, this is green, by the way, if you could tell. I'm going to use this for myself for sure. And actually, there's somebody else I would like to use that for. I think they would benefit from it. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, synchronicity. I had been thinking about them, and I was like, you know what? They would have, doing a little work for somebody I know. They would appreciate it. And that oil will definitely come in handy. Now, how would I use the oils? Dressing candles, for sure. And maybe on paper, petition paper, things like that. Consecrating certain tools, magical tools, depending on what it is, you can use oil on it. Sometimes, my hands, that's rare, but I might put it on my hands if I'm going to do something. I'll wipe it off. Whenever I do a working, I always wash my hands afterwards anyway, because I'm usually touching herbs and all this other stuff anyway, in different oils. So maybe might want to start at the beginning of a ritual or something I'm doing. I might want to just kind of anoint myself, so to speak, and put it on my hands to get started. So yeah, I didn't even see the question on how do I use oils in your practice. I just start going into it. But yeah, basically like that. The number one way I use oils are anointing my candles with it. That's usually, I think, how most people use oils. I think they're safe. I don't think, they would have given a warning, but I don't think there's anything harmful where if you wanted to add maybe a few drops to something else that might go onto your skin, if you already had like oils, maybe you want to put like a drop or something, just for the metaphysical properties of it into, let's say another oil combination that you have that you might use for your hair or your skin or something like that. I could see if you're cleaning as well, like the Better Business. If I had a physical location I was doing business in, I could see maybe a few drops on the doorway, entryway, things like that. Just maybe if I got like business cards in or something like that, you obviously don't want to saturate it, but like you could put it on your hands and like hold the deck, put your hands on a box or something like that. And you could say a prayer or some sort of words or something like that with the oil on your hand. So, there's different ways you can go about using it. But yeah, typically for me, that's kind of how I think it's on my hands. For instance, my Book of Shadows and my grimoire, I remember doing that, having oil in my hand. It's like I didn't want to stain anything, but at the same time, I just held there long enough just to kind of infuse it with that oil. And before I use the oils, even though I bought them from a shop, I still do like a blessing over these oils so they're activated. Do you use a pendulum for confirmation on if you should or should not move forward with the working? No, I don't use a pendulum. I like a reading because I'm nosy and I'm somebody who likes to have all the information, as much information as like I have up front. So that's not good enough, because if it's no, I want to know why. If it said no, now I need to know why. So a reading gives me a lot more information. I'm not good with just a no. So I don't use a pendulum enough because of that reason. I like to know why. I'm not good. It's not going to fly just saying no. I realize sometimes I just have to accept that, but if I don't, then I won't. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the haul. Yeah, that's it. So I went to the store, Stardust and Sage, and on top of that, this weekend, I made an appointment to go back this weekend, and I'm getting a reading done. I have never had that's a lie. I've had a professional read for me before. I have never paid for a professional to read for me before. So this is a brand new experience. I'm very excited to get this done. And I just have some questions about like ancestral lines, like actual relatives that I'm related to as it relates to my practice. I look forward to that. And just some overall questions about, kind of past stuff and how it's going to relate into the future. And I'm interested in seeing somebody else read me. Yeah, this is a big deal for me because I typically only feel comfortable with myself. My daughter has read for me, and like I said, I've had someone professional do it, but they felt called to do it. It was impromptu. It wasn't like an appointment or anything. When I get to 3 of Wands, that's my card that tells me to wait. Exactly. Okay, so there's certain yeah, exactly. Certain things you resonate as maybe kind of negative, which to me means no. Yes, I'll be happy to talk about the review. I'm not going to film it because I don't think that's right. But anyway, what I will do is see how much if I'm allowed to film at all. And that might be something I just pull up my phone and just kind of show the store, the outside, the inside. They were on the news. I found out about this place because they were featured on the local news in Phoenix. And I wasn't even paying attention. It was like kind of on in the background in the morning. And I stopped. I looked. I said, "Wait!" And the woman is dressed in all white, and one, I don't know if she's the owner or if it's several owners, or I don't know the whole deal of it, but the woman who kind of is promoting it, they're on Instagram as well. The woman that was promoting the store, she was dressed in all white, and she had talked about on Instagram how I believe she's an initiate and or going through that process or something like that, because she wears her hair covered. Now I know you meant card. I know what you meant. Oh, you had a few sisters. You had a few months ago. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I'm not even really sure. I'll be honest with you. I'm not really sure exactly what to expect because I've never paid anybody to actually do this for me before. I understand, to be clear, because I know what I would do, but I don't know what others will do. So it's going to be a learning experience to do this. But I had good vibe. The energy was good. I didn't even plan on getting a reading. I went there to buy the stuff. I went there with the intention to buy stuff. And then next thing I know, you said, please hit the like. Oh, thanks. Yes, please. I walked into the store and I just felt like such positive energy, and it just came over me, which we know when things like that happen, just you go with it. And I just asked about the reading, and I said, oh yeah, the girl was talking about doing it that day. And I was like, no, we need to go eat, and I can't do stuff on an empty stomach because I get hangry, especially spiritual work. I don't know anybody else, but for me, I typically don't like to be really hungry and trying to do some sort of working. It is a distraction and it doesn't feel good. It depends on it. If it's cleansing type of work, I kind of like feeling that empty feeling in my stomach. I don't know why. It might just be a mental thing. I guess it kind of goes with the concept of fasting. So I recently did a cleansing ritual for myself. I just felt kind of really bogged down with a lot of different stuff. A lot of those, nasty inside voices telling you what you're not doing, what you can do, and all that sort of stuff, or what you're not capable of doing, I should say that. And other people's stuff as well getting to me. So I did a cleansing I felt overloaded, so I wanted to get that off me. And if you want to try this, it's very simple. It was definitely impromptu. I got a message from my ancestors that night, and they just basically put a picture in my head, and I just basically acted out the picture I saw in my head, where I was in my living space, I moved the coffee table, I was in the middle of the floor, and I actually sat within a circle. Now, a lot of you guys may not realize I don't typically cast a circle. It has been years since I casted a circle before doing any sort of magical work. I don't know. I think that was definitely part of my life when I was practicing as a Wiccan. But it didn't feel necessary to do that. So I didn't. But anyway, they told me to do it. So I did. And guess what? I had a heck of crazy experience. Out of body, astral projection. Like, it was some stuff that like I said, witchcraft always surprises me. It never gets old. I still buy books. I still watch other people's, stuff, their channels, and I read other blogs about witchy stuff. And I'm open to feedback and hearing, because I feel like there's always something new to learn, or a different approach, or a different experience you can have by just changing things up. Technically, I've cast a circle before, so I don't know why this was such a different thing, but they told me to do it, and it was. And by the way, it worked. I had a very cathartic experience, cleansing, from deep within, and just aligning chakras, all that sort of stuff happened. And all I did was the image of me was sitting down in the living room. Do I use coconut oil to cleanse my head? No. No. Why? What does that do? What am I missing? What is that a thing? Bantu Viking, what's the deal with the coconut? Is that something that's specific? That sounds like, why is that something specific to like Yoruba based religions, like with Ifa or something like that? I am not that's not my path. I'll let you go ahead and respond. But anyway, the ritual of me, yes, I do. I feel drained all the time. I usually want something to drink and I want something to eat. I do almost every time, especially the more like this cleansing I did. Oh, I had to go get something to eat. I felt like I was starving and gonna pass out. But I got some tea light candles and I set those up around me and I called the corners. First it felt funny because it's been so long. I had to get the compass on my phone app to remember north, south. I know in north, that's south back here, obviously east and west. So I got it now. But anyway, it took a moment. So I did all that, but it was just, I was on autopilot. I realized I needed to just get myself to the point of the image to show me. And I did exactly. I woke up. I went out of order of everything. Typically I'll have coffee, then I'll get dressed. I'll shower. But no, I started shower, everything first. I came clean. And when I did, which I think is important to physically actually cleanse yourself and come into, especially a cleansing ritual. You want to do the mundane stuff as well. And when I sat down, put the pillow down, got to protect the back, and sat in the middle, and I called, all the directions and for protection, just old school casting circle stuff. And I had my wand. I knew to use my wand. So that was really interesting because, like I said, I almost never do that. It's been years that I've really did it like that. So yeah, it was crazy experience of just that feeling. If you've ever even remotely think you've had some sort of moment where you did astral projection, that is so cool. Let me see this. Not oil, but the actual water from the coconut. No! It helps you gain clarity, but you wouldn't have to do it for at least 21 days. Interesting. No, but I can look into that. I like it. It's natural. I can work with it. Yeah, I have locks in my hair, so I just want to make sure nothing is actually messing that up. I'm all for my spirituality, but I don't want to mess my hair up. But I think coconut water should be fine because I use aloe vera juice, so it should work, right? They should all coincide. But yeah, I did this ritual, and it was so necessary and so right. And I had this moment where I sobbed. I couldn't stop crying, and it's like I just released. And to me, crying is a great cleansing way to really cleanse. That wasn't what I was thinking was going to happen with the ritual, but that's what ended up happening. It's almost like they were telling me, you don't have to be I don't have to be initiated to use that method of cleansing. Okay, well, I would think, okay, that makes sense. All right, that's something I definitely will look into because I like that a lot. I can see me doing that in the shower instead of a whole other type of cleansing ritual as well. But that was typically what I was doing with this ritual for a sense of clarity and so forth. Yeah, it does work good. I can follow up with that. I do appreciate that. But I felt like I needed to literally leave the body and be in another place, and then my body was able to just basically I was able to just release at that point. But I had to just do that separation in order for it to happen. It got really deep. I'm grateful for sleepless nights when you're just laying there, you turn the TV off because you're supposed to go to sleep. I tried reading, I couldn't fall asleep. And in the end, they came to me, and a lot of times I've talked about this before, it's like imagery. I get imagery. Sometimes it's just one word. Sometimes there's a voice and I can kind of make out distinguish it a little bit, whether it's even male or female. But a lot of times, like, I just get flooded with imagery, not thoughts, just like someone just put a thought form or popped a picture in my head. Oh, you think my spirits are around? Oh, okay. Yeah, I do feel guided. This has been a work in progress. When I think about witchcraft, like my whole practice all this time, honestly, for the for a good more than half. I want to say at this point more than half because I'm still growing. More than half, I didn't have any ancestor reverence. I didn't work with any deity. It just didn't resonate. But I started off as Wiccan. It did not resonate with me. Rainbow one is very similar to the road opening in my opinion. Oh, well, yeah, definitely. They're similar. I can see that one. You mean this one? The Blockbuster is, or the all purpose? I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. Anyway, the ritual, it was great, exciting. It was another thing that surprised me on my spiritual path, and I'm the better for it because I definitely feel lighter. Oh, that okay. I definitely feel lighter because of it. So I'm very grateful to that because I felt very heavy with, like I said, so much stuff, my stuff and other people's stuff. I know that I am an empath. I rarely talk about that because I think that sometimes when people talk about being an empath, they almost use it as an excuse to act a certain way or to say certain things to people. But in reality, to explain certain behaviors is a crutch. You can be an empath, but you can learn to kind of, protect yourself and shut yourself off so that you're not the victim of everybody else's stuff. But even with all the protection and even being cognizant of what's happening and learning to kind of put up those guards so that you can still be you, eventually, things seep in, and bit by bit, it can be overwhelming. So that cleansing ritual was very necessary. Part of probably why I couldn't sleep. I had so much other stuff in my head. As someone who has not worked with ancestors before, what would you recommend? I think you were explaining how you started that work. Thank you, by the way. Yeah, so I didn't work with ancestors or anything, gods or goddesses or anything like that, for more than half of my witchcraft. And I actually had an experience. There's a video, it's a little bit older, it's from last year, where I talk about being haunted, like real life haunted. Like the people in my household will corroborate this story. I really was haunted. And that was really what started me with the true, and like the way I work with ancestors, that was really what started it. They were always there and trying to interact, but I didn't understand, I guess at the time, whether it was through dreams, those thought forms I talk about popping in. For me to even get to the part of working with ancestors or a goddess or God, I had to first get in line with me understanding my own intuition and learning to believe and trust it and actually honor it. You said the visual. Oh, I'm sorry that it's messing up. It says excellent condition too. YouTube is a trip. What is that? I need to get back into my witchy bag. You feel like someone is trying to prevent you from doing it. Sometimes you do. You might need just a cleansing ritual, kind of release you from other people's stuff. And you want to believe that, for most of us, if you do practice at all, most of us are familiar with protecting yourself and all that sort of stuff. And, you might have something already set up, whether it's like a certain cologne you wear or, you might have just a ritual of doing protection work on yourself. It could be part of your self-care. Even with that, people's stuff sometimes over time, it seeps in. So there's your own insecurities, your own self-analysis work that is maybe not so positive. There's your own doubts, fears, and stuff that you're wrestling with. But especially if you're in a partnership or you have children, older children, honestly, you don't even have to have older. I think even with little ones, you can worry about them. So now you have all this other people's stuff. It's in your head, and it could affect your mood, and now you're low vibrational, and now you're open to some really nasty stuff happening to you, because whether you realizing it or not, you're sort of emitting this into the universe. So I just kind of wanted to be done with that, and the cleansing helped. But it's back to the ancestors. They really helped me through my haunting. I was having these nightmares that turned into real night terrors, and that's where it started. If I go back, I met some people that were also in the witchy community through meetup.com. And we went out to one of it was a group, and we went to one of the group members' home, and she lived up in the mountains. I was living in Tennessee at the time, and my husband drove me there because he's like, I'm not letting you out there by yourself into the woods at night, into the mountains somewhere. And it was like a steep drive up there. And she was letting us know that the land that she had the home on was also there. There were some Native Americans that was on that land, and she took us out onto the property at night. And I remember we actually experienced a being or beings of sorts. There was a mist that actually was like conjured out of thin air. Yes. And in Tennessee in the mountains, if you're familiar with that area, you have a mist that just happens. But it was in the shape of people, and there was 3 of us, and we all saw it. Excuse me, we all saw it. And then we began to smell something like burning herbs. I attributed to sage at the time. That was where I picked up the spirit. It attached to myself. And I took it home. And the haunting began. It took weeks. I want to say a couple months. I reached out to somebody because it was bad. It was affecting my family. I would terrify them. I would wake up. I had marks on my skin. The ancestors came to help me. My ancestors came to help me. And that's how it all stopped, actually. They got involved in a dream. And I remember, it's a dream world where they came through. And once again, I was being haunted. When I mean haunted, I think this being was trying to kill me. It was violent. It was I just would see a dark figure, like in the shape of a man. It was just like a dark figure. And it was constantly trying to choke me out, actually. So I woke up and I had marks on. I kept those pictures. But I had actually red marks on me. And my husband is freaking out because he's like, I'm waking up screaming, fighting for my life out of my sleep. And this would happen throughout almost every night. I would have this, not the same type of nightmare. The locations, things would change. It was escalating to the point that I was lucid, like somewhat awake, somewhat asleep. And then, I had a situation. I was no longer in a dream world. It was right there with me next to my bed, in between me and my husband, reached over and was trying to kill me. The ancestors came through in one of the dreams where I remember the first occurrence is that they were like in a car, and it was I knew they were family. But you know how dreams are. You just know things in the dream. I knew they were family, and I knew I could trust them. And the dark figure was coming for me. And I just started backing up because I was like, I'm tired of fighting this thing. And they pulled me in a car. And that was the first introduction. And then systematically, they just helped me as time went on. And then there were other ways they would show up, first in dreams. And once I understood this is who they were that were coming to me, I set up an altar, and I started actually doing work and reverence and all that sort of stuff. And they would give me messages on how to resolve my haunting problem, which I eventually did. All right, it was some stuff typed here. Let me go back and read that. How do you deal with ancestor work if you have family traumas and dysfunction? That's a good one. There are certain people I don't want to connect to. Okay, and you know what? I can answer this question simple. I know because I did an ancestry DNA test. I know that I have variations of European blood within me. And I know that most likely it wasn't done in a positive situation. It wasn't a good thing on how that happened. Most likely one of my ancestors was probably raped. And this is now a part of my bloodline. And I understand that, and I know it. And I know specifically what regions. And when it comes to my spirituality, I am influenced by a lot from that region, right? So how do I reconcile that when dealing with them? I do believe that, one, my ancestors are not just the ones I know. So they're the people I don't know. They're people, ancient beings, ancient spirits, that I would never know because we were in different times. And, who I don't know what they were capable of or what they've done. But I do know the ancestors, I look at them almost as a collective. And I think they make the decision on whether those who've done wrong, if you have someone who was abusive to you, family members that inflicted the trauma. I believe that that's not for me to deal with. The ancestor realm deals with that. The ancestral realm deals with that. They make that decision on whether your spirit can move on to there versus, in general. And I do wonder if those spirits, those beings, are they responsible for hauntings and things like that? I do think about that. I don't have an answer of where they actually go for sure. I don't think it's necessary for me to know that, but I think they deal with that. So I understand when I hear people talk about trauma and things from dysfunctional families, I would not try to work with the grandmom that used to beat you up all the time, or the father or the uncle that, molested. I wouldn't, or an uncle or whatever. Like, I don't put things out for them. When I say ancestors, I put very generic things that to me resonate as symbols of ancestors, whether it's a skull, but I have like a golden skull, certain fragrances, incense, natural herbs, and things like that, that to me resonate. I feel like they're telling me that's okay. Water, very natural elements. I'm not putting a picture up of anybody at this point. Knock on wood, even the fake wood that I'm on. I still have my mother and my father alive, and my grandmother for that matter, who I'm actually close to. Now, it's going to be a different story with them. I know I would have a setup in that area just for them, for my mom and so forth. But yeah, I think the ancestral realm works that out. I really do. What's that? Do I have a permanent ancestor altar set up? Yes. And I say yes and I pause because I'm moving it. So I did, and then I moved it, and I feel like I'm still working out the next spot of where I want it. I kind of low-key want to do it outside, which is not the norm, but I'm working it out. I'm letting them talk to me and tell me. That was part of the other thing of the cleansing. I just like a feeling of just kind of lost, not feeling grounded, so I can't really make a decision on certain things when it comes to spirituality. That was also part of the cleansing as well that I did. So I'm processing that now on exactly where I was. So soon, yes, I will have a permanent ancestor set up. Oh, hi, TK Brantley. Yeah, it was a good call on his part. I'm going back to read on. Yeah, he would never just let me drive somewhere by myself in the middle of the. It wasn't the middle of the night, but it was dark outside, and we don't know anyone there, and he's not into witchcraft, so he already thinks probably he's a little crazy anyway. And we're all getting together out in the mountains. I don't even know if no, I'm lying. There are meetups, but it's different now because of COVID. Now, I live in a place where I think we're about to follow the other states, and the governor here, Governor Ducey, he won't commit either way, but I think what he's going to end up doing is just lifting up all restrictions as well. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think people are just going to start meeting and doing stuff like normal. So I probably will have access. There are a couple groups here. There was nothing I saw that I really wanted to go to or deal with, but there were a few groups here. I would start one, to be honest with you. At this point, I would just start one. You wish you still had your pictures. Woke up a dream. But part of me believes that it was an attempted abduction. I was not going for it. And I called out my head because I did not want me. Oh, yeah. Well, I really felt like this thing was trying to kill. I mean, I have physical markings on my body. So it went from just bad dreams to night terrors to, oh, this is real. Like, this thing is really trying to kill me. Like, I was convinced of that. I tried the saging and all that sort of stuff. I was doing the things I thought I knew at the time. This is some years ago. And it didn't work. And that was my introduction to really work with ancestors, because they saved me. They helped me in that moment. And I began to recognize them. And once I did it, I sort of never turned back. My ancestors communicate through dreams. Okay. Yeah, through dreams. Yeah. For a lot of us, it's through dreams. And I think one of my favorite, not a bad one, but a favorite one, I remember, again, we were still in Tennessee. The hauntings stopped. The hauntings had stopped, thank goodness. And we were I don't know, we got something to eat that night. Everything was cool. It was a good night. I think my husband and I had a date night. Everything was cool. We came back. So it's the middle of the night and I'm asleep, and they came to me, and it's like, why I think they're a collective is because that's how it's always come to me in dream world, or when I meditate. They're like just these figures. I can see hoods. Everybody's in all black. There is a cauldron. Sometimes I can hear the fire crackling underneath. Like, that's literally what I see. I don't see like faces, races, and all that. It's just like a dark space there, but I see a hood. They sometimes show me the cauldron, sometimes they don't. The reason I point that out is because they dipped a cup into the cauldron and gave it to me. And when I drank it, I remember feeling sick. When I woke up, I felt sick. And I was like, what is happening? So I went and I actually threw up. So I actually had food poisoning. I would learn. But I had food poisoning, and throwing up was the best thing that could have happened to me, because it helped get some of that stuff out. But I had actually gotten really sick. And they woke me up out of my sleep and said, get this out, go do this. And I was like, oh, shoot, that really... And since then, they've come to me in that capacity. When they want to warn me or talk to me about something, I always feel like I'm like on the end around this entire group of people. Oops, sorry about that. I'm around this entire group of people. I can't really make out who's who, but I know they are going to protect me and they want me there. Sometimes though, I'll try to meditate and I'll try to connect to them, and they won't. I can't see it. I can't imagine it or anything. Like, they just won't. They just say, no, we're not talking to you right now. That happens too. Not often, but it does happen. Let's see. To speak. Okay, I'm back here. To speak. So in my head, kept saying Jesus until I could get out, and it released me. When I came to, I had 3 scratches on me. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I thought, okay, I'm a very rational-minded, practical type of thinking person. So I did ask my husband. I was like, am I choking myself? Like, if you have enough sleepless nights, or nights where you're terrified, you will begin to, is it me? Is it in my head? Am I having some sort of psychosis? Like, what's happening? Even though I am practicing, I'm going to make sure I'm mentally okay, because you feel like you do after a while feel like you're losing your mind. And he confirmed, no, you are not choking yourself. And we joked about it, but I kind of wish he did record me, because I would wake up and I was fighting. And then he would try to help me because he hears me screaming. I would scream so much, I would lose my voice the next day. And it would be painful. And it would happen the next night. It was that bad. Let me see. Yeah. That's great. I thought they have to decide who's mentor material. Yeah. Yeah, like that. I do. I think the ancestral realm weeds that out. I don't think that we need to pick and choose. That's why I caution sometimes when people talk about ancestors. I notice people have, like I said, I gave the thing of when my mother eventually passes, what will I do? How, of course, with her, I'll put her picture up. Of course, that same thing, my husband's mother and my grandmother and father and all that. I would definitely set up a space for them. But I would still have the overall ancestor altar. That's my mom's. She's, ancestor, but that's for her. But then there's the overall. Eventually, maybe I would combine them. I don't know. But that would be separate to me. I still think that's separate. Like I said, I don't think we, the humans having this experience, need to concern ourselves with that. But if you are not having a connection, if you feel like you're just not with your ancestors, I could get that too, because I went quite some time and I practiced magic and my spells worked, my rituals were effective, everything was still flowing. I just didn't have that connection. But I was careful being honest, I tried to force it in the beginning, but nothing really happened. I didn't feel anything. I didn't get a symbol, sign, a dream. For years, nothing happened. I said, well, maybe that's just not for me. And eventually it happened. They came to me when I needed them the most. Yeah, keep the bad ones away. Yeah. Thank you. It is still a blessing to have them both. I'm very grateful and very happy. I was just talking to my mom today. She was making me laugh. My mom is a Jersey woman through and through. So very Jersey, and I love it. Do you have any? Wait, it moved up. What did I say? Keep the back, yeah. Do I have any book recommendations about working with ancestors? Oh yeah. Oh, I did a witchy review on it. It's the one where they're talking about the afterlife, and to me, it just broadened my mind on the concept of afterlife and how to approach them. And it was written, I cannot remember the name of the book. I'll put it in the description. I gotta go around the corner in my hall. I have a library, my bookshelf. I will find it and I will put it in the description. But I did a witchy review. I can't for the life of me remember the name of the book, but it stuck with me. It resonated with me so much. And I think the book it's something about ancestors in the book title, but I have a video for it as well. But I'll let you know. I think that's an excellent current, more recent book that is helpful. Other than that, I can't really say. The way they came to me was in a way I kind of just adapted and started working with them, but I didn't have really a book to use. But that book that can't remember the title of, that's a perfect one to me to kind of just wrap your mind about how to even approach and work with the dead and all that sort of stuff. The person that wrote it is a medium. It's something, the book and the title says something about medium. It's a really good book for that. Let's see. That help in the spirit realm. Some say, yeah. Dream state, you can do a lot of work yes, you can in a dream state. A lot can get done. I do, and I'm grateful. And I don't dream. I'm not one of those people who has a dream every night that I can remember. I try keeping a dream journal, but instead I just write everything down in between my planner or my grimoire anyway. I remember the ones that I have that are worth writing down. I usually can remember long enough to get to my desk to write them down. Growing up, we had a lot of paranormal experiences, so it's made me shy of spirit work. Would you consider ancestor work to be in the same ballpark, so to speak, or is it totally different? No, I don't consider that necessary. No, I think it's a totally different experience. Yeah, I don't know. The haunting I described as the paranormal experience. Them coming to help me felt like a normal thing to me. That didn't feel like a paranormal experience. So no, I don't feel that way. Typically, the emotions that I even get with interacting them is feelings of I feel protected. I feel loved. So I have such a positive interaction typically. And when they're showing me things, so I don't put that in the same ballpark at all. Do your dreams come true? Some, yeah. Where I live right now in Arizona, I had a dream about it first. 2019, it was like early February, and I had a dream. We had just moved. That was the dream. We were in the middle of moving the furniture in the house. My husband was there and my son was there, and they were physically moving, setting something up, a piece of furniture or something. I was upstairs at the time in this house, and I guess the edge of the subdivision, because there was like a big wall, but I saw palm trees and then mountains in the background. And I live in a place where there are palm trees and mountains in the background. So that was February 2019, and it was so vivid and it felt so real. I woke up thinking, why am I here? Like, I thought I should be wherever I was in this dream, in this home or whatever. And I journaled about it. I wrote about it, documented it. I did a further reading because it was I knew that wasn't just a regular subconscious type dream thing. I knew I should do more with it instinctively. I knew, and I did. And I did a reading, and I asked pointed questions. Am I moving? And then as time went on, time meaning just a couple months, an opportunity came up for my husband to be in Arizona. And I knew in that moment, before I knew that was the place. And I did another reading on that specific job. Like, is this what you were talking about? Everything, all the cards were positive. So long story short, I live in Arizona and we moved. He moved that April and we followed in May. We being me, my son, and my daughter. My son would leave, and I think that what the dream was letting me know why it singled him out, because I was like, that's weird because she's the one that stayed, but he was there long enough to help us move, and then he left. He had to go into the military. My lunch break is over, so I gotta hop off. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, before you go, I don't know if you already clocked out, left, but next week is the Cottage Witchery series, and I'll be breaking that down, going into that. So look for that all next week. I'll still do a witchy review on Friday because I have something I want to do. So I'll still go live next Friday. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the Cottage Witchery series is there. And then after, and I'll talk about this more after the videos, you'll see the link in the description. I started a Cottage Witchery workshop. So that's going to be on a different platform, and you guys will be able to access it, where I will go more in depth of the stuff that I talk about next week. I'm a big fan of Cottage Witchery, and it's what I've been doing for years, and I feel like this is where I've grown the most, and I think a lot of us probably are more tapped into that. If you kind of resonate with being a green witch or a kitchen witch or a hedge witch, you combine all those things and throw in a little of the hoodoo and and a little bit else and the new age stuff. Cottage Witchery. I'm oversimplifying, but yeah. Thank you, and thank you for coming. Oh gosh, yes, I'll have details. I'll have the link. That's all, everything's staggered. So Monday is kind of the introduction to the series, some information. Wednesday, I go a lot more in depth. That's the meteor one in the series. And then Friday is sort of the wrap up, and then I'll lead you to the workshop, which would be available that following week. I'm setting it up on the Google Classroom platform. That's new for me, so bear with me. But it's, literature reading. I'll tell you resources to use. You'll see some spell work, videos, a whole combination of stuff. So that I'm really excited about that. It's just another way, for me to kind of, besides here on YouTube, to get a little bit more detailed about things. So yeah, that's going to be happening. But it all starts on Monday with the Cottage Witchery series that's here, and then the workshop is a separate piece. All right, so yeah, I think I'll end it here. Thank you guys so much for oh, I like that you think I'm stronger than you've yet to come to realize. Well, first of all, thank you. I needed that. This has been a week. It's been interesting. So I do appreciate that, and I don't mind kind of putting myself out there. I have my own personal issues of doubts and things about myself, so nobody's gonna top what I already do internally that I still wrestle with. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so I'll end it here. So thank you for coming to watch the Witchy haul. I am super excited about these planners and using these candles, and I will definitely update you guys on the reading. How, I'm not sure. I might just throw in another video just for fun in the middle of the week, and you can see, and I'll tell you what happened. But follow Leap Taken on Instagram as well, because I may share over there. We'll see. All right. Wait, I also have shape-shifting abilities? Oh, okay. Well, I want to have shape-shifting abilities. Send me some messaging. Let me know if you let me know, because if you know something, you tell me and I'll tap into it. All right, thank you, the Alt Barbie as well. I am gonna go play with my new deck. That's why I'm pulling it closer. I'm about to get into that right now. All right, so thanks again for watching. I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. Please like, subscribe, share, and thanks again if you've already subscribed. And thanks again for coming to the live. All right, bye-bye. I read that Bantu Viking. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.